Outlaw Performance.
We're here today to talk about carb tuning. Now I know it seems like a lot of you guys probably have issues out there with Holleys. They're not as bad as you think. I particularly prefer Holleys myself, but we also will talk a little bit about Outlaw, which is the old Carter AFB carbs. So to kind of jump into it, we'll explain what we got here, what's going on. So we'll start off first of all with your basic Holley. Well, this one here is a 750 dual feed double pumper. Now, this is a dual feed Holley. When I say dual feed, it has two inlet sites for the bowls. So your fuel log will screw into this, or your line, whatever you want to use. When I say double pumper, I mean it has two accelerator pumps. You have one here and one over here. This Holley over here is a 770 Street Adventure. It is a single. It only has one accelerator pump, but it is a dual feed for the fuel line. This is an 850 Holley, again double. You have two accelerator pumps, one in the front, one in the back, dual feed.
These are just 650s.
650 for tunnel ram. Talk about tunnel rams for a minute. They're cool looking, they're streetable, as long as you have the right application, the right size cam. 650s, 750s, depends on your cam application and the CFM of your engine, what you want to run. This is one that Bud will eventually wind up putting on his Chevelle here in the near future, so we'll have a video of that one. Back here, this is an Outlaw 600, which is the old Carter AFB carbs. A very good carburetor. A buddy of mine runs these on his blowers, which you're going to be seeing him later today.
Very easy to tune.
Very easy to tune. The only thing with these, you have two screws. You take these out, there's metering rods and there were springs. This is how you change what size jet you want to run and what size spring tension you want to run. Holleys, a little more difficult. You have to actually pull the bow off. When we pull the bow off, this is what we have is a metering block. These are your jets. This little thing right here is your power valve. This has a diaphragm and a spring inside. Usually your carburetor will backfire real bad and you have a miss or something after that, it falls on its face or doesn't have good acceleration. That's what's happened. You have blown the power valve. These are interchangeable. Take them out, adjust your application, what size you want to run. Same with the jets. You know, they come out pretty easy. This is a power valve here. This is what it looks like when it's outside of the carburetor. Alright. Holley sells a really nice jet kit. I have a little more than what they come with originally. Usually it's just two of each. I've kind of scavenged carburetors and stuff like that to keep around the shop when we need it, help out people. Fuel adjustment. Really easy on a Holley. As you can see, they have a screw with a nut. Okay, this sets your float level. This is what this little thing does right here. You have a needle seat and valve, which is this, which actually screws down into this hole. What you do is to adjust your float. I'm sure a lot of you guys maybe been running your car for a while and something's happened and okay, you know, it's not accelerating the same. They have sight plugs on the side, which is really nice. You pull these plugs out. You got fuel dumping out and you've got a stuck float. What you want is your fuel level to set right even when that screw is removed. That you can just see the fuel right at the bottom. This has a clear sight one in it. These are aftermarket. You can buy these mostly through Jag Summit. Your local store might carry them. But you want it setting right level with the bottom of the hole. So that all you have to do is just bump the car a little bit and the fuel will kind of spooge out. So that's when you know that your float is set where you need it. If it's too high, it will pour out. If it's too low, you won't be able to see the fuel. You want it right in the middle. Which Holley's really nice for the way they did it. Also, another thing on Holley which really is nice is on your metering block, which would set this way on this carb, you have two screws on each side. This helps you adjust the on and off idle circuits. So if you don't want it too rich or too lean. You know, you run it rich, you're going to foul plugs, the car's going to miss. You run it too lean, you know, you're not getting enough fuel, which is bad for the motor. You can do damage to your valve train, your pistons. You know, you want a nice happy medium. So they're real easy to adjust. You know, best thing to do is when the carb's on the car, start the car up, get yourself a vacuum gauge. Yes, I know my vacuum gauge is really old, but it works great. Find a vacuum port, plug it in. it will give you a vacuum reading. Okay, take and turn your idle screws in all the way, start backing them out. You're going to see your idle jumping around a little bit. This is going to take a little bit of work. You're going to have to take it out maybe a half a turn on both sides, see what you're idling at, see what your throttle response is, turn it a little bit more. Most of these come set from the factory. If you buy a brand new carb, you don't have to do a lot of adjustment other than if you've changed your cam or you got a little bit more compression. You know, but mostly these screws should only be anywhere from a half a turn to a turn and a half out. That's pretty max for the street. Now, like I said, strip applications, totally different idea. So just fiddle with that back and forth till you get a good RPM reading. You got good throttle response, everything's working great. Now this carb here is a manual secondary. That means, like I said, it's a double pumper. So as I open the throttle, it's pulling both of these accelerator pumps at the same time. Some of the carburetors, like this one over here, is vacuum secondary. That's what this little unit is right here. Runs off vacuum, which makes it nice, which is actually off the carburetor. It looks like this. Inside of that, you have your little plunger. It sets down in there. Vacuum pulls. Let's use this one. As you can see, when you start to open up from on the bottom, you get a certain high RPM vacuum. It will start to open the back four barrels. Okay, you can adjust these. Take this apart. Diaphragm. Summit Jegs makes a array of springs from medium to heavy, soft to hard. Indication of what size cam you're running, what size carburetor, what kind of response you want for the vehicle on the street. Throttle, accelerator pumps. We have two different diaphragms for your accelerator pump. These deep ones, mostly for race application. Some people run them on the street, street and strip. These are stock applications. If you got a car that you want to look like a strip car, but you drive it to shows, I would stay with these. Big carbs, big cams, depends on what you're doing. So your little needles, the little needle screws we was talking about, they look like that. Now, for a lot of you guys, I've seen people rebuild these carburetors, they pull these out and they don't notice that there's a little O-ring or a gasket on the end of those or stuck inside the hole. They put these things back in. Well, then they don't tune right because there's air. So make sure if you guys rebuild these, make sure that gasket is either in the port, which is in here, or on the screw, because that's kind of a must. Okay, these are your discharge nozzles. People's gonna say, "What the hell is a discharge nozzle?" Well, it sits down inside there under the butterfly. What this does is when you're giving the gas, that's spraying down into the chamber. Most stock carburetors come with a 25, which is nothing wrong with that. Anything smaller than a 650. Anything bigger than 650 usually has a 31. Now, for you guys that don't have a lot of money, can't afford to buy a brand new carburetor, and you're trying to put one together, if you're building a 600, try to find a 31 discharge nozzle. They work great. You're getting it to give it more fuel, and that's the whole point of a smaller carb on a bigger a bigger cubic inch engine. So you want a little bit bigger. Last but not least, fuel regulators. Okay, we're kind of getting in. If you get running a big carb and you got a big cam, okay, you need all the fuel you can get. Holley makes a really nice fuel regulator. These are adjustable. Put a gauge on your engine fuel log somewhere to let you know how much pounds. A stock pump usually puts out between 6 and 8. If you're running a stock application, great. If you're running something bigger, like with the 2.4 setup here, you're going to really want more than 6 to 8 pounds of pressure. So it's something good to invest in. I don't suggest running a factory fuel pump if you're going to do a tunnel ram setup. Make sure you get a high volume or an electric fuel pump. Holley makes a blue pump, red pump, again, different applications for your different motor. So, but if you guys have any questions or anything about carburetors and you guys would want to hit us up,
put in the comments.
Leave a comment. I mean, one other small thing with me is you guys just starting off, okay? This book helped me out a lot. When I first got into carburetors, I mean, it's a really good book. It breaks everything down, tells you everything about the carb, how to modify the carb, parts of the carb. It's cheap and inexpensive. You can get these online. I mean, if you're like me and don't have anyone really to tell you or show you, and you get tired of asking your friends to work on your stuff all the time, definitely this is a must. You know, buy this book or any other book out there for Holley modifications. You know, if you like quarter jets, quarters, whatever you prefer, there's nothing wrong with any of them. You know, if you get them to run great for you, that's what you like. But I'm going to turn it over here to Bud, because he's going to kind of break it down for you to tell you. A lot of you guys are going to ask, well, what size carb should I run? Okay? He's going to explain how the best way is to figure out what size carburetor you want to put on your vehicle or your application. Okay?
All right, Roger. All right, guys. Like what Roger said, it goes down to volume, metric efficiency. Okay? That's how much CFM the motor can take to get to 100%. A lot of people, you'll see, they'll go get a stock 350. You know what I'm saying? First thing they want to do is rip that old 600 carburetor off and go slap on a 750 carburetor. Then they're wondering why, you know, it's falling on its face coming off the line. I'm going to talk about volumetric efficiency. Okay, that's choosing the right carburetor for your setup. Okay, if you take, let's say, a stock 454. All right, let's make it easy. You're going to take the cubic inch times the maximum RPM your cam will allow for. Okay, so on a stock 454, I don't know, let's say 5,500 RPMs. That sounds about right. Okay, now you're gonna times these two. Okay, once you times them, then you're gonna divide them by 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go ahead and do it here so you can see. 454 times 5,500 equals right there. Now you're going to divide that number by 3, 4, 5, 6 equals 722. 722 is where you're at. So at 722 equals 100% volumetric efficiency. So if you were to run a 750 CFM carburetor on a stock 454 with 5,500 RPM, you're looking at close to 104% volumetric efficiency. Okay, so a 750 would be fantastic for a stock 454. All right. Now, let's do something a little bit more high performance. Okay, let's say someone has stroked out 496 big block. Okay, in the maximum cam range, just say 7,000. Let's just get crazy with it. 7,000. Okay, you're going to do the same thing with this. Okay, you're going to take 496. Let's get it up here. Clear. 496 times 7,000. It's going to equal. Now you're going to divide that number by 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to equal 1,004. So on a 496 big block, 1,004 CFM is 100% volumetric efficiency. So basically anything from like the 900 range that they make to like 1,000 CFM carburetor would be fantastic on that. On a single intake setup. I'm not talking about blowers. I'm not talking about tunnel rams. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about a single carburetor setup. This is how you figure it up to get to what you want. Now, where does the 3, 4, 5, 6 come from? Okay? I really don't know how they got the 3, 4, 5, 6. All I know is what an old hot rodder told me back in the day. He said, here's the formula you want to do. You take your cubic inch, multiply that by the max RPM that your cam will put out. Then you divide that by 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll give you a good where you need to be with your CFM for your volume efficiency on your carburetor. You guys pick the right carburetor for your setup. It'll make a world of difference. You don't want to have too much carb, because too much carb will flood you out. It'll make you, like, how many of you guys have been on the line and you launch, the light turns green, you step on it, it falls on its face, then she comes back alive. That's a sign of what,
Yeah.
Roger?
Too much fuel.
Too much fuel. It's dumping too much.
Too much fuel somewhere along the line. Like I said, you've blown a power valve, you could have a stuck float. You know, but like I said, this is a good formula to get you guys in the right direction where you need to be. You can fiddle and retune after, you know, you find the right carb. For your application, you can set the carb the way you want it. You know, but hopefully that helps you guys out. I mean, it helped us out. So
It's a formula I use still today, and it works for me. You know, I mean, it just works.
So like I said, if you guys have any comments, want to leave a comment or ask us a question about something, if we can help you out, we'll comment back. So just, you know, stay motoring out there, and you know, like I said, hopefully something here has helped you tune your carb. If you have a Holley, like I said, if you got Quadrojets, Elderbrox, whatever, I mean, again, just take your time, you know, work on them, keep them out there on the road for us, and we'd like to send us a video if you'd like.
That'd be awesome.
You know, if you guys could send us a video of what you have out there, that'd be great. We could put it on our channel and let other people see it.
And if anybody has any comments, please comment on the videos. If you know where the 3, 4, 5, 6 comes from, please comment, because I truly don't remember. I mean, all right. I mean, hey, we're learning too, you know.
We're definitely not professional.
Well, I guarantee you there's someone out there that knows where the 3, 4, 5, 6 comes from, and they can tell us.
It comes after before the 1, 2, and 7, 8, 9.
That's what I'm sticking with.
Thing, we have shirts now. We're trying to get out there, be a little bit more professional. This is the front.
Back.
Back. This is actually our second design. Our first design was white, with just the Outlaw Performance. It says you've just been outlawed. Hopefully these will be for sale here in the near future. We have a few other designs we're working on. So if you guys would like one, shoot us a comment. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit, but they will be coming up for sale. And again, thank you guys for tuning in, watching, and helping us out, because without you guys, you know, we wouldn't get off the ground.
We appreciate everything you guys have done for us.
I mean, like I said,
Watching the videos, liking the videos, and subscribing to the channel.
yes,
Please
please
subscribe.
That helps us get out there. I mean, and like I said, if we can help you all with something that, you know, we talk about, that's the main purpose of this. Get some rides out there that you guys have never seen. Again, that's the purpose of this. You know, if you have a cool looking ride, like I said, please send us something. Guys, again, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Outlaw Performance. And like I said, stay tuned. We're going to have another short video later on this evening. We'll put out there. And again, from us to you,
You just been outlawed.